Okay, there we go. All right. So this meeting is call to order, and take roll quickly. Okay, Graham, Zach,
Yes, here.
Jason Lester,
Here.
Alvin Waters,
Here.
Karen Waters. Okay. All right, so we'll just skip over. We don't have anyone here but us, so we'll just go straight into our agenda. And starting with D for our Earth Day weekend docu-shred event. What are our thoughts on this lovely idea?
It's always successful. It's always busy. I don't know, people look forward to it.
What do they do with the shredding? Do they recycle all that?
Yes, so what it is, Graham, is there are we reserved 2 trucks for the amount that was approved, which is, I think it's just under 1,300, but we rounded it. So the trucks have they hoist, the stakeholders drive up, trunks are open, the bins are brought to their car, go to the truck, they're hoisted up. There's a camera there for if people want to watch it, and they shred it right there in the truck on site. And then they take the shreds and recycle them.
That's cool. That's great, especially on Earth Day. It ties in with the whole theme of being green and recycling. So that's great.
Yes, it just so happened when I saw the Earth Day, I thought, here we go, this is it. So I was able to get it booked on the reschedule it for the company and for the parking lot. There is a wedding that day at the church, so they did agree to do it, understanding that we'll be out of there, by noonish, we'll be out. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, and with that being said, from item D, moving into item E and F, we had banners, Graham, before using St. Euphrasia parking lot, we had the plaza, the Knollwood Plaza. Well, something happened, the guy didn't want to do it anymore. So our current banners have that on it. So Jason has the connection to the printing and the sources for this. So what I'm proposing, and for your thoughts, is that we have a new banner designed for like street advertising to, shred event, at St. Euphrasia Saturday, and an arrow. We don't want to put a date because we don't want to have the banner just for that one time, but whole banners we could have with the date on it, like they did for the holiday parade. So what are your thoughts on that?
That's great. It all sounds great. I'm reading through everything there, and seemed necessary and sounds great to me. So
okay. And then Jason, for you, already understanding the issue of the past with the payment and so forth, what we can do is, like I did with the bullhorn for the parade, if the board approves it, of course, then you and I will work together, and I can just do the payment because there were some instructions you had last time, and then we'll get it done that way, and I'll get reimbursed, so that it's me working directly with you or your contact, and we don't have to bring in Brian, and deal with whatever happened in the past.
So if I could interject though, I mean,
Yeah.
that's about $3,000. So I mean, are you guys?
No. So what we're proposing under the $3,000 is going to be some extras that we need. So the advertising. Oh, so the advertising. This is the Granada Hills Monthly. This is the one that we all get, and so we have a choice of. Let's see. Okay, here, this is a good and interesting example here. So we have our friends, the cannabis people, who have a full page ad. Okay, so we could have a full page ad, or the gentleman at the company said we could have. Okay, so we could have a half page ad like this, or we could have a full page ad, or we could even have like something smaller. But I mean, it's not. The last time I got the quote, it was about $250 for a page. So that would allow enough time for it to be paid, certain things that, like, we could leave Brian to pay these things, but then working with the banners, which, Jason, could you please share what you estimated those costs to be for the banner at the time?
I cannot remember. I remember it was a fairly nominal amount. I want to say it was something like maybe it was like $100 to $150 a banner, something
Right,
like
right,
that. That was like a
right.
full vinyl, large printed banner.
Sure. So what I propose to do, to AJ's point, rather than for me to incur the whole thing, those items that Brian could upload, which could be Granada Hills Monthly, and like the N95 masks. What else is on here? And pull like anything outside of your company or your contact. We would have Brian do that, and then I would deal with the ones that I have to deal directly with you and your contact. So that way it separates it out, because there is some which I think we all had this discussion a couple months ago. We want it to be efficient and for things to get paid in a timely fashion. So if we get board approval on whatever Tuesday it would be, we could literally work together Wednesday to get, to get the order done. And then that way it's just done, because we all agreed that we want things to be ordered in a timely fashion. Now shipments and the N95, he's got all of that information already, so it's okay for him to work with that part of it. We do have some masks now, but it would be good for us to have some more N95s. So we gave the last of our supply away to LAPD and the fire department last year.
We just wanted to say that as soon as we're confirmed on a day with the truck, that because I
Oh,
know
it's booked.
people. Oh, for sure. So it's all set for the day.
Yes.
A lot of people on like social media, they wait to hear when the next shred event is. So I think that now that it's a concrete date, word should get out. I know there are a lot of groups and a lot of people who are waiting for this information. And the
Okay.
biggest issue we've had in the past was with, I
Yes.
think, conflicting schedules with other people, realtors and other people having shred events on the same day or the next
Right.
day or whatever. So I think that to put it out now what our date is and then make them reschedule if needed, like we're already occupying that
Yes.
time and getting the word out. And I think it'll spread like wildfire because people wait. They constantly ask my wife, when is the next shred event? Because they've got a garage full of paper, at the parents' house. And
Yes.
from what we've seen, that I think the biggest benefit of the shred events is the fire hazards that we've been reducing.
Yes.
People who have
Clutter.
medical documents from the 70s and the 80s piled in their garage in boxes that they, for whatever reason, don't want to put in the regular trash, but they're happy to destroy at a shred event and know they're gone, and get it out of the garage, the tinder that's just waiting to go up.
Yes, sure. Agree 100%. So what I could do, I can actually contact our webmaster when we finish the call today, since this was already approved by our board. It was just the date with the other, because we had the parade and we had so many events going on in December, November, and October, actually, that it was too much to take that on. So this is really a reschedule. So we're okay to do this because this was already approved by the board. It was just a rescheduling date. So, let's start with, okay, so on item E, are there any, it's open for any other suggestions if you would like. Right now we have banners, pole banners, and advertising, and some more giveaways or N95s, masks and wrist wallets and hand sanitizers. So any other suggestions in case we have more space within the capacity of the $3,000? Think we're good with that?
Yeah, I think
Graham is
that
thinking, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think of anything else right now offhand.
Okay.
I'm just kind of weighing this based on the average attendance. So, I think for now where we're at is good.
Okay, that sounds good. And it might not even be that much, but just once we find out the pole banners and what the cost is to hang them, I think we should be okay with that. So, all right, so for item E, yes, Jason?
Just one other thought from past events, maybe if we got some kind of like a pull cart so that we could offload some of the cars that, quicker. And,
Okay.
some cars pull up and they've got 20 boxes in the back.
Oh, you mean like a dolly?
Yeah, to
Yeah, I
just,
think that's a good call,
and
actually.
we could
Oh.
use that if for other events as needed too. And if we got like a not like a radio flyer, the big ones like they've got for industrial, we can load up boxes, move them quicker to
Like the
get
one at
them out of the
Costco.
way to get people moving quicker. Because we got caught a couple times where people were waiting and
That's a good point.
it was piling
Okay.
up.
Excellent point. Does anyone have any idea how much those run?
I know I bought one last time, a heavy duty one at Osh. I think it was 150.
The
Unfortunately,
only
mine is.
question
Mhm.
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say mine got destroyed because I had bricks piled in it for months and the tires went flat. But otherwise, I would bring it with me. They're collapsible. You can take them apart. You can put them back together
Was
again.
collapsible. That was my question.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's collapsible. Okay. That's good. Okay, very good. A dolly. We do need one of those. Okay. All right, so for item E, may I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
I'll second.
Second,
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have a motion. And all right, thank you. And then, so for item F, a motion and a second for the design, or would anyone else like to participate in the design?
I'll
I
motion
think-
to approve.
simple. We don't need anything flashy,
No, no.
just informative.
Okay, very good. So, okay, may I have a motion and a second?
I'll motion. I'll second.
Second.
Okay. Let's see, so who was the motion? You're all, that was a trio right there.
Yeah,
Motion by,
Jason.
okay. And second by,
I think Alvin beat me.
all right. Okay. All right, great. So we're good with that. And so item G. In the past, we have the council district 12 neighborhood councils have hosted candidate forums. Of course, with COVID, this is probably going to be another Zoom event. But I understand that the Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils is supposedly putting something together, but it's more for the neighborhood councils versus the public. And our candidate forums are for the stakeholders. Given there's a lot of contention right now with the different neighborhood councils, and it seems to be a lot of internal administrative issues within their own governing bodies. What are your thoughts about us on a candidate by candidate basis as they request, not we requesting them, as they request of us? I received contact from Mike Fuhrer's office asking if they could visit us to, because he's running for mayor. So what are your thoughts on like a Zoom event for this hosted for our stakeholders? Or if they would attend our board meetings and take maybe like a 10-minute segment to speak on their vision for the city, what they propose to do, and then take questions from our board and from our stakeholders. Thoughts?
I think it's good, but I mean, would this be in the capacity of like I guess we would say a town hall in the form of a webinar?
Yeah, like we've done in the past, but definitely in the webinar format, thinking if we can't get, if Omicron doesn't subside, then we're probably going to still be under webinars and Zooms.
I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, it would just be important to get the word out to get enough attendance. The only thing though is, I mean, will this be for multiple mayoral candidates or?
As they as they request of us, so far, the only person that has approached us is Mike Fura's office, but there will be more to follow likely because they see, they have to go through us to get to our stakeholders. I do agree with AJ made a point to one of our visiting assembly people that they tend to only come to us when they're running for office. Some of them are private people. One of them is a congressperson, as we know, who's been in Congress and attended. I had an opportunity to speak with her on Thursday at the bank meeting. And overall, it's as I predicted, based on the insurrection. She just didn't want to run for Congress anymore. Born and raised here, has lived in the Valley, has family in the Valley. So she may be making her rounds to us eventually, but this way our stakeholders, this is what we do. We provide them with information. So this is a way for us. I think the weekend, we've all experienced that on the weekend, stakeholders tend to be busy on the weekends. So if we add it as a part of our board meeting, my suggestion would be under under the government officials part, which is after the Pledge of Allegiance, or under the presentation under executive, we allow them 10 minutes because I've seen them drag on for a long time. So if we give them a limit of about 10 minutes, let them explain their vision, could be less, it's up to you gentlemen, but give them an opportunity to speak, take some questions from the board, 1 question per person, and questions from the public, 1 question per person, and just allow that for maybe like a total of 20 minutes. And then that's our service to our community so they can hear from each person.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we should limit the time, as you say. And yeah, I mean, why not? I think that's opens it up to the stakeholders through our board meeting to, hear what they have to say, I guess, and invite them in on it.
Right, right.
I just think given, the climate we're in and how passionate people are about their opinions, it'll just be important. The timekeeping will definitely be essential.
Right. And the moderation of it as well, whether we do that or Oscar does that, or but we definitely need to keep order so that there is and respectful, regardless of what people like or don't like about a person. This is just business, and we're just trying to provide good information and service without the bashing. Just what can you do about X and move it on. God bless you, Jason. And so let's and this will all be subject to, if other neighborhood councils approach us and they're willing to participate. Otherwise, it's easier for us, given how well we work together, to just do this ourselves for our stakeholders. So we can be flexible with it, but sounds like we're all in agreement on this. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So I'll say discussion and motion. I'll just add likely webinar and TBA. Okay. All right. May I have a motion and second?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. And we are now at H, committee member announcements. Anything new, anything exciting?
Well, I just want to say that ever since I went to the Granada Hills Street Fair, I don't know if you guys remember, but there were a couple of prizes that I actually won participating in the fair. One of them was at the Row House, which we have a location in Granada South. I was actually just there this morning doing a 45-minute row session, and it's definitely been a life-changing experience. So if you're looking to, do something different to maintain your health and your mental health, I definitely encourage you to visit the location that's off of Chatsworth, and it's closer to the corner of Chatsworth and Lindley. It's actually right next to the Verizon wireless store and also the H&R Block location. So it's called the Row House.
Okay, all right. Graham, what's new and exciting?
Not much. Just kind of hunkering down a little bit again here. Just because of the surge and it's a slow time of the season for gigs in the music world and everything as well. So kind of works out. But hopefully we get out of this soon and it dies down and we can start maintaining some sort of normalcy again. But yeah, otherwise, things are okay. Just
Agree.
doing
And
well.
Mr. Lester.
Don't catch COVID.
Oh man,
Right.
get
Yes.
well soon.
Thank you. I'm on the upswing. I've literally been sleeping like 20 to 22 hours a day since Monday night.
Whoa.
I cannot stop. Well, now I'm finally up and around, but I've never had anything like this. You sleep for 10 hours, get up, do stuff for half an hour, and then just go and lay down and fall asleep for another 8 hours. It's crazy. I'm not a big sleeper in general. And I really haven't seen the sun since Monday. Like I haven't been outside. I haven't seen the sun. It's like this week didn't exist for me. And it's still, I'm on the upswing, but it's still not over. Like I still, my throat's been sore for 3 days.
Wow.
This is crazy. Thankfully, my kids, all three of my kids got it too. They were done in about a day. Just, coughing, sneezing, hacking for a day, and that was it. But for me, for whatever reason, because I'm immunocompromised, as my guess, it just wouldn't go away. And I got fooled 3 days of mild symptoms. Like I was telling you, Karen, I was laughing about it. I was like, oh, this is it. This is the whoop-de-doo COVID. I have a slight burning in my chest for 3 days. And then Tuesday morning when I woke up, it felt like somebody took my head up into a bell tower and was ringing a bell with it. My whole head was pounding. I couldn't open my eyes, any light. It felt like my head was splitting open. And I just slept that whole day, didn't go to work. The next day, my headache was doing better, but it just had spread everywhere else. And I've been a mess ever since. And I don't get sick very often. And when I do get sick, I typically recover pretty quickly. I've been eating vitamins and taking Theraflu and drinking tea, like anything I could get my hands on, Motrin, and this destroyed me. And I never expected to suffer like this from COVID, because I knew so many people that had it for a day. They said I was sick for a day or I was really sick for a day. I've been just destroyed since Monday.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, we wish you a complete recovery and hope you'll be feeling 100% soon. And, to your point, I don't know any family that hasn't been touched directly or indirectly by COVID. Which you all wouldn't have known this because our at the time of our meeting, it wasn't the place to mention it, but my son-in-law got COVID, and they live in Alabama, and the new house, the renovations were underway, and so he was with the workers at the new house dealing with all of that. For some unknown reason, no one had a mask on. I don't know when they decided to drop the masks, but he got COVID. Fortunately, my daughter and my grandson tested negative for it. So my daughter flew my grandson here for 2 weeks because the university was out for a month. So there wouldn't have been there was no Christmas. Everyone who was flying in had to cancel their flights. My grandson was already there and she wanted him to have a Christmas and didn't want him exposed to anyone near COVID. So he was with us for 2 weeks. And good for him, back in his old room and his old area, and got to do a lot. But and my son-in-law recovered, but it's just everywhere. And to Graham's point, I think, and I mentioned this to Jason and AJ as well, although someone would probably shoot me for saying this, I think if they did a 1 month shutdown one more time and everyone stays put, maybe we could get ahead of this, because it's just everywhere. I mean, 40,000 cases a day, 45,000 cases a day. How are we ever going to get this behind us? So, but, you know, I'm thankful for you all and our great committee and our wonderful short meetings. So thank you for being wonderful, and everybody be safe and healthy. And
Yes.
Jason, we're thinking of you. Okay.
Yeah, get well.
Thank you.
Get well, man.
Okay.
Thank you, and I hope nobody
Every-
gets it.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody be safe. Everybody be healthy, and talk to you soon. Have a
Okay,
great
have a
day.
great weekend.
Have a great
too.
weekend.
Have a great
Take care.
weekend. Bye bye.